welcome back viewers, welcome back to NPTEL course on ESD. So, in the last class we are talking about transformative pedagogy or pedagogical framework, how we can develop a transformative pedagogy and pedagogy for the teacher training as well as the curricular activities. So, to continue with that, now we can say, so how to identify the local learning opportunities related to sustainable development goal and build the cooperative relationships. So, when we are talking about the community activities, community welfare, community well-being or sustainable community. So, we have to identify the local learning opportunities, maybe in terms of their artistic handicrafts, or maybe agriculture, maybe horticulture, maybe other kinds of floriculture or the horticulture or poultry farms, or what are the actually local learning opportunities are there which can be related to sustainable development with regard to greenery, with regard to waste management, with regard to eco-friendly eco-friendly business, eco-friendly eco-friendly industries. So, these things can be explored first, local learning opportunities in terms of activities, so people's activities that can be explored, and on the basis of that we can develop a cooperative relationship. Like for example, the women they, maybe they are interested, they are engaged in different kinds of handicrafts, pottery making, or you can say cloth making or the toys making, or any kind of the local foods preparations like pickles and all kinds of other dry fruits, dry products and dry food products. So, these kind of things we have to identify, these are the opportunities which can be directly related to sustainable development, and through this we can develop a community, a cooperative society for to develop the not only cooperative society for their employment and income generation, but for the relationship building also. So, here again another thing is that to evaluate and assess the learner's development, a cross-cutting sustainability competencies and specific sustainability related learning outcomes we can fix up. So, like at the end of the day, end of the program and activities, we have set the targets. Some targets are there. Yes, at the end of the day, now the stakeholders, students, learners, all the that means those who are involved, they ultimately we can map, we can quantify, we can qualify that yes, these are the learning outcomes that we have achieved at the end of this program, end of this activity. So, this is a specific sustainability related learning outcomes we have to focus on, this. Then possible modules for the teachers education and curriculum with ESD, it can be designed. So, taking into account these local activities, then etc., or you can say homemade products and homemade or the eco-friendly teaching aids, or like kind of things, teacher education curriculum can be developed with ESD as a component, as a key element. So, teacher education curriculum, teacher training curriculum with the ESD as the key stakeholder, key measure, key tool. So, where we are focusing more on more on eco-friendly organic things and zero carbon or carbon neutral products, maybe minimum wastage, minimum carbon footprint. So, these kind of things can be curriculum can be developed. So, with the ESD as a component. Now, with this online platform also we can say that we have adopted eco-friendly kind of teaching instruction instead of wasting the carbon, instead of wasting the pages, hard copies of the set materials, etc., and minimizing the carbon footprint. But yes, however, the other side effects are to be checked and balanced, that means compensated as well. So, teacher education curriculum with the basic as the ESD as a basic key component, that can also be developed. Second, then sustainable development from the local, national, international perspective. Whatever we are doing, we can begin with the local learning opportunities, local needs, local resources, but slowly and gradually we can increase it, enhance it and improve it towards the national, international perspectives and the requirements. So, then again ESD can be concepts from the local, national, international perspective to be analyzed. So, ESD, what is at the local level, what are the requirements, what are the implications, what are the action plans and strategies. At the national level, what should be the ESD concepts and strategies, and the international level also. So, similarly, the disciplinary and transdisciplinary views can also be given in terms of different examples and challenges. Similar different kind of project oriented work can be designed, can be designed and can be sponsored for addressing the specific problem. Specific problem may be related to specific local problems, maybe water shortage, or maybe or the national problem of minimum carbon footprint or pollution, or the global importance of climate change. So, this project oriented to the specific problems of local, national and the global importance. So, in coordination with, in cooperation with different NGOs, different educational institutions and other local partners can also be initiated, can also be planned and administered. So, the projects may be that is in the what are the in the local community, what are the local resources available, and what are the setbacks, what are the challenges, and how to mitigate those challenges in a sustainable way. So, we can also start with the action projects, action research projects, or the some sponsored projects at the panchayat level, at the block level, or at the state level. Similarly, we can also start the projects, big projects, ESD based sustainable development projects at the national and the global, and keeping in mind the global importance, like climate change also we can also start the projects, national requirements of the self sufficiency on the developing the startups, or developing the eco-friendly agricultural products and the manufacturing things, make in India schemes, etc. What we can do at our own, not only to earn our livelihood, but also in a very sustainable way to not only cater to the needs of the people, but also environmental protections and the economic growth. So, research based analysis of ESD process, research based analysis of ESD process of different learning settings such as the schools, colleges, formal, non-formal educations, that can also be done. So, practical experience with ESD approach, with critical reflection, with transformative learning, with sustainable practices, with the ESD based competencies. So, these things can also be learned, updated and enhanced in terms of our learning actions and the practices. So, as we can see here, this is an example of environment, which you can say starting from the society to environment, economy, and this is the sustainability, how we can visualize it, that which includes all the three: economy, then society and the environment. So, all these three components are well integrated. So, how can we visualize economic growth should be there, society should be also sustainable and cohesive, and the environment would be protected. So, environment ultimate. So, this is in this way we can visualize sustainability. So, here we can say just an example of how the school bus, that means the education also, that means the students can also get the training, hands on training of putting the fuel to the vehicles. So, without wasting, that means not dropping, without wasting, and minimum carbon footprint, and in sustainable way, how everything can be done in a very sustainable way. So, without exploiting the resources and conserving it for the future generation. So, this is just an example. Similarly, in the community activities, students and the learners can also be engaged in plantation, in gardening, in kitchen garden, preparing the kitchen garden, in agriculture activities, in kind of organic, developing some organic methods of plantation, fruit production, or healthcare, or you can say healthcare and dissemination of information and to the local people, and enhancing the awareness through different kind of workshops, intervention programs. So, all that means here now it is not just the responsibility of the NGO workers or the block level workers, but it is the collective responsibility. So, students can also be engaged, teachers can be engaged, local people can be engaged. So, it is a collective responsibility of moving towards the sustainability by adopting a transformative pedagogy and ESD as the key component. So, here you can say the formal curriculum content, knowledge, skills, perspectives, etc., it should be related to sustainability. Learning includes the taking into account the real life issues, examples for persuading the people, or for enhancing the people's motivation, like how they can behave sustainably, they can act sustainably, they can help the society in a sustainable way. So, can hands on activities, some practices, some community services, that they can be motivated for all kinds of things. Then the school has a sustainability ethos everywhere in terms of in terms of the templates, in terms of advertisement, in terms of slogans, in terms of in terms of speech during the prayer session, morning prayer session. So, all the school properties, environment, infrastructure, everywhere, that means it must reveal, it must express that the school has adopted the sustainability as its ethos and the values. School management practices also, it must reflect sustainability without wastage, minimum wastage, how to take care of the environment, cleanliness, all kinds of things. So, school policies also reflect the environmental, social and economic sustainability. So, in terms of content, in terms of practice, in terms of curriculum, in terms of pedagogy, in terms of administration, in terms of interactions between school community also to be fostered. So, in terms of classroom learning about sustainability, in terms of decision making that affecting the school life, in terms of individual lifestyle, consumption style, in terms of behavioral sustainabilities, every aspect from A to Z. So, it can be incorporated, it can be, that means every now and then this is the slogan, this is the theme, this is the moral, this is the value of the school as a system, and then again community as a whole. So, how to this is the monitoring the progress, that is SDG, India's SDG index, I can say. So, as you can see the state wise, the green areas, these are the green areas, they are the front runners. Okay, these are the front runners. Who are the front runners? Like we can say in south we can say south is the front runner, Kerala and this I think this is Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and here I can say this area. I think it is which state it is? It is that northern the Punjab, Haryana and Himachal Pradesh areas kind of thing. So, these are the front runners. Then the performers are, all these are the performers that still doing it for farmers. Okay. So, Jammu Kashmir to either western, what is western India, eastern middle, these are the performers. Okay. And there are no achievers, not yet achieved completely fully, no achievers are there, and these are the they are the aspirants, that means they are trying to, that is the north belt, that is the Bihar and UP and Uttarakhand, you can say they are the aspirants, and even in this northeast also this Mizoram, all kinds of things, and so these are the aspirants, these are the performers, and these are the front runners. Okay, front runners, but there are no successors, no achiever, not yet no achievers. So, goal wise ranking of states and union territories, overall ranking based on the performance of all the goals. Okay. So, achievers, no achievers are there, front runners are Himachal Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Chandigarh, Pondicherry, etc., and performers are all other states, and others are states, and you can say still aspirants are this UP, Bihar, these kind of states, and in the northeast this kind of states. So, promote the competition among the state. Now, there is smart city competitions, okay, among the smart city competition. This is also again another initiative to move towards the sustainability. So, supporting the states and union territories in identifying their priorities areas, whether their priority areas the food, agriculture or the health or education. So, accordingly they can move on. So, highlighting the data gaps, So, this is the kind of framework, monitoring framework has been developed to map the SDGs progress in Indian context. So, as you can see, this is our current status. So, India's index score overall and SDG wise, scores, like again all SDGs are performers, like this yellow sections, they are the performers for in all SDGs, and in SDG 1 also they are, and SDG 2 that is zero hunger, that is SDG 2 are the aspirants, and SDG 3 what is the status of India in overall SDGs, all the SDGs, and in SDG wise 1 to 16 SDG, and 17 SDG is the global partnership. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the green areas actually the front runners, SDG 8 green areas are the front runners, and blue there is no 100% achievers are there, no 100% achievers are there, performers are there and aspirants are there. Okay. So, now we have only, you could do only in SDG 8, 10 and SDG in 8, 10 and 15 and 16 we have been successful to little bit, and yellow areas, that is other SDGs, we are just performing, but not yet 100% achievement has been done, has been taken place, but now slowly we are moving towards overall score. This overall score state wise, you can say the state wise Chandigarh and Pondicherry, in these two union territories are well ahead. Then thereafter Daman Diu, Delhi, Lakshadweep, Andaman Nicobar Island, Dadar Nagar Haveli, they are the performers. Okay. And the state wise Himachal Pradesh, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, they are the front runners. Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, they are the front runners, and thereafter all the things, and the poorest the least, that means the aspirants only, that is Assam, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. They are yet to start their activities towards, they are just the aspirants, but others are the performers, they are just doing it, performing it. Okay. So, and this is like the composite SDG that is taking together front runners are Chandigarh, Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, Pondicherry and Tamil Nadu, they are the front runners, and others are the performers, others are the performance, and aspirants are, that means aspirants are Assam, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. As we can see, we can summarize all the things. So, then again meeting the challenges. Here what are the other challenges that we have to face and resolve it? First thing is the generating data on all the SDGs indicators from the local and national level. These are the challenges, how to meet, create the data on SDG, all the SDGs, SDG indicators both at the national level and the local level. Convergence and efficiency of financing the SDGs across the various actors and the institutions. So, in order to achieve the SDGs in different sector, how to converge and enhance the efficiency in financing, in sponsoring, in mobilizing all the major stakeholders across the institutions and across the actors, that means the players. So, this is the again second level. First is identifying the areas, indicators and the local level, and the second converging, how to converge and enhance the efficiency, financing, sponsoring the things, this kind of things. Then third is the capacity building, enabling the people, empowering the people through training, development, skills, etc. So, capacity development of the multiple stakeholders on the range of gaps. Okay. There are different players, different actors, different stakeholders. So, how to develop their capacity? So, multiple capacity development to fill up those gaps. Then identifying the regional focus and areas and developing the action strategies. Thereafter focusing after this identification, then convergent efficiency in financing, then capacity development, capacity building of multi-stakeholder, then moving towards the actual action plan, that is identifying the regional focus areas and developing the action strategies to work upon it, to start the action plan. So, now here you can see that these are the emerging focus areas. As you can see, these are the emerging focus areas. The first is the SDG financing. Okay. SDG financing is most important, that is because mobilizing the public finance. So, gap analysis, the intervention, the tax capacity of that state, enhancing the spending efficiency, rationalizing the spending, assessing the fiscal sustainability in space. All these things are how SDGs targets and the goals to be financed. So, SDG financing is again topmost priority, emerging priority, how the money will be spent in different sustainable development activities, plans, programs, etc. Second is that engaging the private sector, how there can the private sector can be engaged, can be made the equal partner in the sustainable development goal. It is not just only the public sector organizations or the government's responsibility, but how the private sector can equally engage them, that is mainstreaming the SDGs in core business beyond the CSR. See, beyond CSR, how we have to put through this SDG programs, that means you have to run the business, core business, but in a sustainable way. So, sustainability in their core business beyond CSR. Then investment in research and innovation, continuous investment in research, innovation, new technology, low cost solutions, like low cost solutions like waste management, resource efficiency, energy sector. Similarly, nowadays are more focusing on the clean and renewable energy with minimum cost, like from getting the energy from the solar resource, solar energy, hydro energy, and electric energy, wind energy. So, how can we extract the energy and make ourselves self sufficient in energy with the minimum cost or the cost effective way. So, that is another. Waste management, that is the biggest challenge, waste management, and the water treatment, that is also the sustainable agriculture, and then again taking the precautions against the climatic change and the disasters related risks, disasters and then different kinds of accidents. So, these are the kind of the in these sectors, these are the challenges, and in research, innovation and technology also how private sector can be engaged. Then again the strengthening the data system in the sense that both operationalizing at the state level, district level, and working on the different indicator framework, the functional system, then ensuring the data integrity, data safety, security. So, we have to strengthen our data system also too. That means data, through data only we can calculate, we can evaluate, we can analyze our progress and impact. So, strengthening our data system and infrastructure, then leveraging the science, technology and innovation, and of course, to take the advantage of leave no one behind, like and deliver the quality public services. That means leave no one, that means like for example, learning together and no one should be left behind. That should be our policy, learning together and achieving together and no one should be left behind. So, to deliver the quality public services to everyone and to at every corner of the country. So, that is the science, technology and innovations, using the science, technology and innovation for equality, equal distribution of resources, for achieving the quality life, for quality public service, and nobody should be left behind. That is one thing, and another is that science, technology, innovation platform also to promote the entrepreneurship and business development. So, nowadays that is why, that means how can we make ourselves self sufficient in Make in India schemes, like our manufacturing hub, our startups not just in the core sector, that means industrial sector or mechanical or technical sector, but also in the service sector. So, how the science, technology, innovation can be promoted, can be used to promote the entrepreneurship, small business developments, then small entrepreneurship, small and medium industries, and self-employment opportunities, sustainable agriculture, then food security, then water treatment, then to take care of our health system, sustainable health system, quality of life, nutrition, vaccines, all kinds of things. So, this leveraging science and technology up to the maximum benefit. So, these are our emerging areas. So, first is the finance, second is how to PPP, public private partnership, how engaging the private sector. Then our data system, that is strengthening the data operation system, data entry, data safety, security, all kinds of things. Then leveraging science, technology and innovation for entrepreneurship, for collective development, well-being, welfare of the community and prosperity and healthy life and the quality life. Okay. So, now these are some of the clippings, as you can see, UNESCO's focus. So, these are some of the websites, web links and YouTube links are there, where you can go through this. How education is a component, mandatory component, how ESD can be incorporated, implemented through from the very beginning, from the grassroots level, and education is a mandatory component, how through education collaboration, cooperation can be developed, and how global media, information literacy can also play a very important role. So, these are some of the YouTube links that you can go through for further clarification. So, now we will come to the perspectives of sustainable development. Perspectives of sustainable development. What are the different perspectives of sustainable development? As you can see, highest, definitely higher quality of life for all. So, higher quality of life for all, then we should also eliminate unsustainable patterns of behavior, production, consumption, like we have to unlearn the unsustainable pattern of behavior, consumption style, and to promote the appropriate demographic policies, to promote the eco-friendly demographic policies to better off, to improve our quality of life, not just for ourselves, but for all people in the countries across the globe. Second, women play a very important role, very vital role in environmental management, in taking care of the house, not only the household chores, but also they must fully participate. their full participation is also very much essential in the community activities, in the rural, in the partnership activities like stakeholder, multi-stakeholder partnership activities. So, therefore, women should play a very vital role, hence they need to be educated, made aware, and giving the attention and care and good food, nutrition, health, all kinds of things. They should be promoted not just in terms of education, health, nutrition, but also in terms of their activity, confidence, moral, morality, their sense of responsibility. So, they should be promoted in terms of their identity, in terms of their self confidence and active participation, as if they are the major stakeholder, they are the valuable manpower in our society. So, for their full participation in this process of sustainable development. So, then again warfare is inherently destructive, hence we should get rid of any kind of warfare, because definitely all kinds of chaos, terrorist attack, chaos, all kinds of clashes, all these things that actually cost our not only cost our property and things, but also our life and environmental resources also. Therefore, we have to how sustainable development should lead towards the peace development, environmental protection, how these are interdependent. So, some organizations, some some communities, some organizations, some people, they should also work on it. So, that is why nowadays we are having this different institutions of peacemaking institutions like Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Peace and Youth Welfare. This is also a body of alliance with the UNESCO. So, these kind of organizations, these kind of statutory bodies, societies, they exclusively work on how to maintain peace, how to promote the peace education, how to those through this kind of nowadays through this kind of yoga, meditation, mindfulness, then spiritual upliftment, different kinds of therapy, different kinds of counseling. So, these kind of things, how to how to uplift, how to improve the mental health of the people, so that we can proceed towards making a more peaceful and just society. So, then a systems thinking approach. That means we should not focus on the minor goal or the individual goal, or we should look at the holistic development. So, we should not focus on one issue or two issue, but rather or isolated problem, but rather on the holistic development, whole system development, whole system improvement. So, that is a holistic approach, that is called the system thinking. Instead of looking at the individual problem, but now we are focusing on to the holistic, that means all round development, the overall development of the system. So, here the sustainability issues are linked not only just the individual part, but also whole approach, the whole school approach for developing sustainable community and society. We are also adopting whole school approach. That means whole school approach means focusing on the all aspects of sustainability, starting from the A to Z. So, that is the systems thinking approach. So, we are not just focusing on to strengthening our teacher training or curriculum or content, but also focus would be on the community development, how to make our community, our neighborhood school, our neighborhood community a sustainable community. Similarly, understanding the local issues in the global context. Yes, of course, we are global citizens, we have to take care of our planet Earth, but at the same that means how to collaborate, how to correlate, and how to understand the local issues in the global context and its after effects, its impact, and recognizing that solutions which are not only solve the local problems, but can have also the global consequences, impact. So, these kind of sustainable practices and solutions that we have to find out, so that it not only helps us in mitigating our local challenges, local issues and problems, but also it can be extended up to the applications at the national level, at the regional level, at the state level, at the country level, and at the global context also. So, now I am concluding here only. So, in the next class we will discuss about the other things. Thank you.